Hey everyone, welcome back to the Crafty Couple. Today we've got some really fun, quick and easy Dollar Tree DIYs. You don't need a lot of time and you don't need very many supplies. So this is a super fun video that you can easily recreate on a budget. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. We hope that you enjoyed the content, and if you've been around for a while, thank you so much for your ongoing support. We really do appreciate each and every one of you and for helping us grow our channel over the last couple of years. And as always, if you do enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments which project's your favorite. For this project, we're going to start with these 12-inch dowels from Dollar Tree. You'll need 4 of them, and we're going to spray paint them matte black. And then 2 of these crates also from Dollar Tree. Now, I'm going to go ahead and glue these together and then stain them with Early American Stain. And as always, this is where you can customize it to fit your decor style if you'd like to change it up from what we're doing here. So definitely feel free if you wanted to paint them or stain them something different. That is totally up to you. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're working with these Dollar Tree items, they're not always going to be the same size. So I tried to get these to line up as perfectly as I could, but it just wasn't working out. One of them was a little bit bigger than the other. So just try to get your projects as good as you can, but don't stress over the little details. Sometimes it's just not going to work out. And then once we have this all stained, we can move on to adding our dowels. When gluing the dowels, I'm going to go ahead and use some hot glue and glue these on the sides. And then you just want to line it up in the corner, and I made sure that the top of the dowel was flush with the top of the crate. And then we're going to glue these on all 4 sides. Now, I went with the 12-inch dowels. I wanted to kind of create a taller planter where you could have some plants that draped down, or if you wanted to, you could also put some decor underneath this. So you could definitely make this smaller, maybe even use like the 6-inch dowels would work as well. It really depends on how you want to go about this and how you want to style it. But I think in the end, the taller planter style really worked out, especially for the plants that I decided to use. I used kind of a hanging eucalyptus from IKEA and then some ferns as well. And I think it looks really, really pretty. For this project, we're going to be creating a couple of wall decor pieces. I guess you could kind of call them sconces. It depends on how you want to decorate these. But what we're going to start with is a couple of these boxes from Dollar Tree and then 4 of these pallets from Dollar Tree as well. And what we're going to do is start by connecting 2 of these pallets. I'm going to use a couple of these craft sticks to glue these together and give it some more support. So the first thing that I did here was take 2 of the craft sticks and glue these on the backside here where there's kind of a cross piece of wood. I'm going to glue those in the middle, and then on the outer 2 parts, I'm going to cut a craft stick to length to fit in the gap here and glue them together kind of on that, still on the back side, but more on that front part. So we have 2 different parts that are going to be glued together, and this is going to help add some strength. You don't need a lot of strength, but you also don't want this just kind of wobbling around or falling apart. And we're not really going to be putting a lot of weight in this anyway, so that won't matter. But you do want to make sure that it's a little bit more structurally sound. The craft sticks also work perfect because of their size. You could line them up with those vertical slats and glue them behind those so you don't see any of those from the back when you have this facing forward. And then all we're going to do here is line up this wood box at the top of that back wood piece that's going horizontal and glue this on kind of in the middle and up from the bottom. You could obviously glue this anywhere you wanted, but I thought that was a good spot. And then we're going to recreate the exact same thing using 2 other pallets and 1 more box. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is stain both of them with the Early American Stain. And this is probably my favorite project of the video. It's so simple, but I think looks absolutely amazing when it's done. It looks really high end. You could decorate it with some succulents. I, again, in the end, went with kind of an air plant that we got from Walmart for a couple dollars, and then also that hanging eucalyptus from IKEA. And you could create multiple of these and put it on the same wall, and it would look absolutely stunning. And for this project, we're going to be using this nautical rope from Dollar Tree. We're going to go ahead and pull the rope apart so that we have 3 separate strands. And then we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this around a glass piece from Dollar Tree. This is where you can also customize this project. You can create it with all sorts of different pieces that they have there. This is the one that I liked. I liked the size and then the shape of it as well. So I'm going to start by gluing this at the bottom, and you want to make sure that you hot glue all the way around the bottom, just so that first strand is all the way secured. And then moving from there, you don't necessarily have to glue all the way around, but with how wavy this rope was, I found myself gluing most of this down just to try and keep it as straight as possible. And if you've watched these videos where we're gluing the rope around items, we like to always try and line up these seams in the back. So when I went around with the rope here, it went all the way around, and actually as I was finishing up the rope, it ended up lining up almost the same spot as the original seam. So I didn't have to do any cuts there, but just for future projects, or if you're doing something bigger, always try to line up those seams in the back of your project so that you don't have those showing in the front. And this is where I was talking about. This is one single strand, and it lines up almost exactly where the other one is. They're just a little bit off, so you don't have to worry about cutting it or anything like that. So we're just going to glue that down and then start with our second strand. And with the second strand, we just want to continue on right where we left off, where that seam is. So go ahead and put a little bit of glue there, and we can work our way around there. I ended up using 2 full strands and then just a little bit of the third for the top right here. You probably don't have to, but there was a little bit of that glass sticking up at the top. So I decided to kind of continue it just a little bit around here, and that way it's fully covered and you wouldn't see that from the side. But you may not see that anyway after we put this top plate on. So 2 full strands and then just a little bit extra here from that third piece. So I'm just using enough to go around here and cover up that glass. And once that's completed, I can move on to the plate here. This I believe comes in a pack of 6, and it's just a little plastic plate from Dollar Tree. We're going to spray paint that matte black. And while that's drying, I'm going to use a lighter to clean up some of the little strings and hot glue that's all the way around this. And the last part here is just to add our black plate on top. So all I'm going to do is add a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of the plate here and then the top of the glass and glue that down. And that's really it. Like I said, really simple projects. They don't take a lot of time, and they don't need a lot of product to complete them. They're only going to be a few dollars when you're done. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more high-end Dollar Tree DIYs, make sure to click through right here, and you can check out our playlist of other videos. And as always, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time we upload a new video.